Hey everyone, it's Edward from Ideal Direct Home Improvements, and today I wanted to show you, I guess a quicker video and a more well-explained video on how we fasten the plywood, because I've been having a few questions and comments about, the way we do it and what do we do about the sound. And again, I take it the sound of the dimple membrane, hitting the concrete and stuff like that. Well, the way we do it, we don't have any issues with sounds with the dimple membrane hitting the concrete. So let's walk around this basement. It's a bit of a mess, my bad. We have quite a few things going on with parts being made for the custom bar and stuff like that, and tile going on and stuff. So let's take a walk around. I'm walking right now and this is all fastened. I'm gonna, I guess, tap on the floor and make it so that I'm walking so that you can hear the noise if we have one. Like, I don't hear an echo. There's no sound other than my footsteps, and that's it. So if we take a walk around, and you know what, I'm gonna take this mic and I'm gonna put it down to the floor, and let's take a walk around. It's a sound test with using the mic by the floor. I don't hear any echo. All I hear is my footsteps, right? All I hear is my footsteps because it's fastened down properly. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. We don't have issues with any noise. We don't use any fabric whatsoever. It's Delta mat right on top of the concrete, plywood right on top of the concrete, and then we fasten it like I showed in other videos. But right now it's easier to make this video because I have my cameraman with me, just to explain. So let's say, for an example, this is the first row and this is the top of the sheet. I refer this to the top of the sheet. This is the sheet with the groove, okay? When I do my fasteners, I put it, let's say this is the sheet with the groove, I put it on the top, okay? Then when this sheet here, which is the next row, it has the tongue, okay? So the tongue goes right into the groove and does the interlock. I don't have to put a screw here. We never did it. It works fine as long as the top of the sheet where the groove is gets a screw, and we put it more or less 1.5 inches away, 1.25 inches. We do it by eye because I know that's more or less 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches away, and I do this by eye. It's 1.5 inches, right? So this gets the screw. The next sheet that we put in with the tongue, okay, doesn't get any screws here. Doesn't need it because that connection is solid. When I start the second row, again, this is what I'm considering the top of the sheet because this is the next row and this has the groove in it. You can do it the reverse, but this is how we do it. And then that's the third row of plywood. That has the tongue. So I didn't put any screw on the bottom side, the back side. That's what I call the back side. And this is the top side, okay? When I mark the sheet, because this system has been proven over time. Like, even tapping with my finger, I don't hear like the Delta mat. If I press down, I don't hear the Delta mat. All I hear is the tap from my fingers. That's it. When I fasten at the end of the sheet, which this is the 4-foot end. So we're dealing with 4x8 sheets. This is 4 foot. This has no tongue and groove connection here. Okay, and this is the 8 foot, right? 4x8. That's the sheets we use of plywood with tongue and groove on them. When I fasten the ends of the sheet that have no tongue and groove, I always make sure that all the fasteners are away from any edge, minimum 1.5 or 1.25 inches, okay? Just to show you here. So again, this is the top sheet, right? And I'm gonna show you. On the top of the sheet, I hook my tape on. I keep the first fastener 1.5 inches away so it doesn't interfere with the tongue, with the groove, or it's too close to the edge. There's no point of it being too close to the edge. Then I mark 19.25 inch centers. You take a look at your measuring tape. I'd say 99% of the tapes out there have a little diamond that nobody knew about, okay? When we're framing houses and we're installing TGIs, which is the joists that are manufactured, right? They're not like 2x8, 2x10s. They're TGIs, truss joist system, okay? We use some builders, some building codes go 19.25 inch centers because those things are so strong that, you know, doing 12-inch centers is only if it's building code because it's a big span and a special type of joist. So on average, those ones, we do 19.25 inch centers. And this is where our system developed, was 19.25 inch centers. Because if we go 16, that's overkill on top of concrete for a 4x8 sheet. If we go 2 feet, it's way too much of a span. 19.25 is just perfect. It's great. And it's divisible by 8 feet. So we got our 19.25, the little diamond. Then again, we go over, if I were to, you know, take my tape from there to there, it's 19.25, but the diamonds are all marked on the tape. So we got another diamond at 38 3/8. We have another diamond at 57 5/8. We have another diamond at 76 and almost 3/4, just over 3/4. And then the end of the sheet is 8 foot, okay? So we put them at 19-inch centers, okay? And this is the top of the sheet. This is the sheet that has the groove in it. From there, when that's all done, and if you want to do the edges here, I would recommend doing 16-inch centers, okay? So go 16-inch from top or bottom, it doesn't matter. Do 16 so you can put at least 2 on the edge because you're gonna need it. Sometimes my boys try to do, you know, just the one in the center, but then what happens? The edge isn't flush, so they end up putting an extra screw in, you know, wherever they have to. On the edge, if you have to put a couple more screws, don't be afraid, don't be shy. You're just doing a better job, okay? So that's the end of the sheet that we just finished talking about, and the top of the sheet. Let's talk about the body of the sheet now. The body of the sheet is what I consider the center of the sheet, okay? And we're gonna fasten in the center of the sheet. In the center of the sheet, if I hook my tape onto the top, okay, we want to roll more or less at 2 feet. This one's a little off because we do it by eye. We want to roll in the center of the sheet at about 2 feet, okay? That's the only screws you're going to put in. But again, I'm going to hook on to the end of the sheet, and we're going to do our 19.25 inch centers again. So you can take a look at this full sheet, and I'll explain. This is the bottom with the tongue. This is the top with the groove. This is the center and the body of the sheet. We have one row going down the center, and we still have it on 19.25 inch centers. And it's all fastened down. If you fasten your plywood down like this, if you want to go less, you can do it. If you have that noise, it's just fasten the sheet down. So I just wanted to show everybody how long we've been doing this system. I dug up in our old photo albums, you know, from 25 years ago, and this is what I found, okay? Just to show everybody, this is a picture with us using the tongue and groove 5/8 spruce plywood on top of the Delta mat. Now, unfortunately, it's not date stamped. I don't know what happened to the camera or why it wasn't date stamped, but let's move down to the next picture. So here's the next picture. This is the same basement with the 5/8 tongue and groove spruce plywood installed on top of the Delta mat. Okay, now let's take a look at, the similarities. The one thing I can catch is the same window there and the same window there. Let's take a look at another picture. Here's a picture of the basement finished already, and we have the timestamp on it. It's 1999. And if you take a look, you see this one column here, and then in the background you see the top of the other column, and we have the one window, the two windows. Take a look at this picture that isn't date stamped. You have the one window, the two windows, the one column, the other column with the subfloor. And that's the same basement that was finished. We started doing this system way before Drycore or any other company started doing any subfloor system using the membrane and the plywood. And there you have it, folks. 5/8 tongue groove plywood with the Delta mat in a basement. And that's after digging up through our archives. This is the way we've been doing it for over 20 years. We don't have problems with that noise, and we don't do the landscape fabric. And I have another video explaining why we don't do the landscape fabric. I wanted to make this video just to show you how it's fastened, and the noise is the noise of tapping it, walking on it, and that's it. We don't have any issues with any noises. On top of this floor, we can do laminate, we can do tile, we can do hardwood, engineered wood. You can do anything. By the time you do laminate on this, the only sound you're going to have again is your footsteps. That's it. Anyways, I hope this helps you understand that if you fasten it down properly. I guess a lot of guys are talking about the noise that the dimple membrane makes without any type of fabric on it. You know what? Fasten your sheets down. You want them fastened anyways, because you don't want this thing to move. You don't want to have bubbles or the natural form of the plywood. You want it to be straight and attached to the floor itself. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any more questions, don't be shy. Leave them in the comments. I respond fairly quickly, and otherwise I'll just try to make more videos to help everybody out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and thumbs up, and have a great day.